We're going to be doing a Hack the Box module called Active Directory Enumeration and Attacks, and we're going to be doing the skill assessment at the end of that module. So if I just pull it up over here, this is the assessment, and it's giving us SSH credentials to log in, and then it's asking us to obtain a password hash for a domain user account that could be leveraged to gain a foothold on the domain. It's saying what's the account name, and then it's asking what's the user's password. So I have already done this, so that's some spoilers, but I'm just going to go through these first two questions, and then in later videos we'll go through all these other questions as well in due course. So first of all, we have an IP address and SSH credentials, so let's just get started by SSHing in as hackthebox student at this IP address. Paste that in. I'm going to go copy the password, and we have that on our clipboard now, so we can paste that. And we can see we're in. So let's do an ifconfig to see the different interfaces. So we have a Docker, we have this, which is our public IP address that we just connected to. We have this, and this is our one that we want to look out for because this is our internal. So we can see the net mask. So and broadcast. So we know we want to scan everything now on 172.16.7 and just see what other devices are alive on this domain. So let's just use nmap to scan this subnet. So we'll do nmap like this, .0-24. And this is just going to scan the last byte over here from 0 to 255. And the way these /24s work, so if it was 16 decreased by 8, it would do 0 to 255 on this byte as well. If we decreased it again and did /8, it would do this one, and this one. So that's just a quick refresher on how that works. And we see we have 4 devices. So this first one looks like a domain controller to me because we have DNS, we have Kerberos, we have SMB, we have LDAP stuff. So this is definitely the domain controller. This next one has SMB open, it has RDP open, so this is just some sort of SMB share. This one as well has SMB open, some other stuff, MSQL, and this one is just us, and we have SSH open and also RDP open. So what we want to do now is we're going to run a responder. So I'm going to write out the command and I'll explain what it's doing. So -i, and then that specifies the interface, and the interface is ENS224. So ENS224, that's going to boot up responder. And what we're trying to do over here is we're trying to steal hashes. So we can see the poisoners are on. So MDNS is the one that we're going to really be using. So MDNS, the way it works, so when you connect to an SMB share, let's say if we get our domain over here, so we're on inlanefreight.local. So let's say you're going to use an SMB share on this, you were to query it. The DNS server is going to say, yep, that's me, and it's going to respond with the share. But let's say you spelled this wrong. Let's say you did inlanefreight with 2 T's instead. It's going to send that over to the domain controller. It's going to say, I don't know who that is, and it's going to ask every single IP address on the internal network, so all these 4, do you know who this is? And what responder's doing is it's poisoning that answer and saying, I know who that is, that's me. I'm the inlanefreight with 2 T's misspelt. And the DC is going to say, okay, if that's who you are, here's the hash, I'm going to authenticate to you and give you my hash so you can give me access to the SMB share. So we can see that's happening over here. MDNS, we poisoned the answer. And we see over here, this is spelled wrong. This is inlanefreight, not freight. It's got a missing E over here. And we poisoned that answer and said, hey, that's really me. So that's a quick explanation of how that works. And we can see the user that we're getting is AB920. So that would be the answer to the first question on the, if you remember the questions over here, that's the answer, AB920. And what about the hash we need to crack? So it's saying it's previously been captured, so we need to find out where that's being stored. So if we just do the locate command, and it's stored in responder-logs. So if we find out where that is, that's in user share responder logs. So let's copy that, cd into that, do an ls to see what we have here. And we have SMB NTLM, so that's obviously what we want, so let's cut that out. And we have the hash over here. So I hope that was a clear explanation of how the poisoning works. If you have any questions, you can just let me know in the comments. Let's clear this. We're going to make a new folder called hash. Oh, and I've done this already, so we have the hash over here. So we can just run Hashcat. So we'll do Hashcat hash rocku.text-o. And the reason I'm not doing the mode is because it can auto-detect it. So it's auto-detected as this. Oh, it's already cracked it. We've done this already, so we can just do dash show to show it, dash show to show it. Okay. And we can see the clear text password is Weasel. So that was the answer to the second question. So that's the first two questions. I'm going to quickly go into more detail here. So if we exit this, I'm going to start responder on my local network, and I'm going to see if we can get local account passwords on my own LAN. So we want to use this interface, so we can do sudo responder and then eth0. Start that up. And over here I have a remote desktop to a user on our domain. So we're going to go to SMB and we're going to net use, and we're going to, first of all, I'll show you what a successful authentication looks like. So home.local is the name of the forest on this Active Directory system that I've set up. So if we do a share that doesn't exist, so we'll do does not exist. I always get the slashes the wrong way around using this. I'll just fix that. And we see network path is not found. But if we do something that is misspelt, let's say we do home with a bunch of E's at the end of it, it's going to ask us for the username, which is odd because it should just say it doesn't exist. But the reason it's saying that is because we captured it over here. You can see our home with a few E's, and we've said we're that share, and we've poisoned the answer. And it's just going to send us the NTLM hash of that user admin. So it's again saying it's already captured it, so it's put it in the log file, but we could go check that out and use that to crack the password. So that's just a quick refresher, and if it's not a refresher, your first time hearing it, how Responder works, how it intercepts hashes, and how it poisons DNS in order to obtain hashes. So that's the first two questions, and the next one we'll be going over the next few questions. So any questions, let me know in the comments, and that's all for now.